Welcome back to image processing class. In this lecture, we will learn JPEG encoder and decoder. JPEG stands for Joint Photographic Expert Group. It is one type of image format. So this is the block diagram of JPEG encoder and decoder. So what basically JPEG does? Instead of using RGB, it uses YCBCR. Y is the luminance component and CB and CR are the blue difference and red difference chroma components. We can get YCBCR using three channels R, G and B. So it is very easy to compute YCBCR from R, G and B. The formulas are available. So now instead of three channels RGB, we have three channels which are YCBCR. As shown in this figure, here we are giving spatial domain image as input to this system. Okay, here. The input image is partitioned into 8 by 8 blocks. So what we are going to do is, we are going to take one image and we are going to divide that into 8 by 8 blocks. Okay. Then we apply FDCT. FDCT is forward discrete cosine transform. So why we are doing this? So this will be your f of xy, and this, after this you may get f of u comma b. Okay. So the FDCT is computed on each 8 by 8 blocks of pixel. The zeroth coefficient is called the DC coefficient and the remaining 63 coefficients are called the AC coefficient. The FDCT processing step lays the foundation for achieving data compression by concentrating most of the signal in the lower spatial frequencies. These 64 DCT coefficients are scalar quantized using uniform quantization tables based upon psychovisual experiments. So here what we are doing is, we are going to eliminate the psychovisual redundancy. Okay, so what is psychovisual? It is lossy compression technique, right? So what we are going to do here is, for example, instead of using more quantization levels for particular gray level, we can use less quantization levels. Okay, so there are different ways to do this quantization. Okay, so after this, after quantization, what we are doing is, after the density coefficients are quantized, the coefficients are ordered according to the zigzag scanning as shown here in figure B. Okay. The purpose of this scanning is based upon the observation that most of the high frequency coefficients are zero after quantization. So we are going to place the coefficient like this: 0, 1, 2, then 3, 4, 5, then 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and so on. Okay, so the last one will be 63. So 0 to 63, why? Because 8 by 8, so there will be 64. Okay, so 64 means 0 to 63. So why we are doing this? Because after applying quantization, okay, most of the time the higher coefficients becomes 0. Okay, so here somewhere, suppose this is the last coefficient, after that everything becomes 0. So this is the, here the system tells that this is the end, after that everything is 0. Okay, that's why we put this in this particular order. The resulting bit stream is run length coded to generate an intermediate symbol sequence. Okay, and then these symbols are Huffman coded. So whatever we have learned during the Huffman coding, we are going to apply it here. Okay, and then the signal is transmitted. Okay, signal or whatever you can say, the image in frequency domain is transmitted over here. To perform JPEG decoding, the reverse process of coding is applied. That is, the encoded data is entropy decoded and passed through a reverse zigzag table in order to generate a 2D array. This array is then rescaled using quantization factor and then passed through inverse DCT. Now, you may be thinking that why we are using discrete cosine transform when other transforms are also available. Actually, if you see, the best transform is KL transform. Okay, but we cannot use KL transform here because KL transform has a disadvantage that it is not common for all the images. It depends upon the image. So you cannot pre-compute the transformation matrix in KL. And for specific cases, DCT gives the same output as KL transform. So that is the first thing why we are using DCT. And another thing is why 8 by 8. Okay, so here we can see on the left hand side, you can see here, this is the image. When they took 2 by 2 samples, 2 by 2 subset, sub image, then they got this as output. See, the resolution is very bad, reconstruction is very bad. Okay, then they have tried for 4 by 4 and still the quality was not good. So after that they have tried 8 by 8 and it is found that this particular output is closer to the original input. So 8 by 8 is a good number, okay, to get a good quality of image, or you are able to reconstruct the image properly. So that's why we are taking 8 by 8. And why we are not taking uh, more than 8 by 8? Because computations will be very high, the complexity will increase. Okay, so this is the optimum number, 8 by 8.